Hi guys, Hellreign82 here. Just thought I'd jump on and make a quick video to show what I've been up to for the past week since Normandy's release. I did buy Normandy, as you can see, along with the Acid Pack whilst it was on sale, and so far I'm really liking the map. It's very cool, very busy, a lot of objects as you're probably aware. All these trees, all the houses are pretty much individually modelled, which brought on the big issue of MSAA being a killer for FPS. So I've dropped it down to 2 for now for myself. It's running quite well. Everything else is on high, and as you can see I'm still sort of holding on to 60 FPS. I am using e.d.g.e just to record this video here, so I can trim out bits and bobs. Got a bit cold at the moment, so coughing and sneezing might happen. But it also just runs a little bit heavier on my PC when recording. So what have I been up to? This is it. I've been trying, for some reason, to make a multiplayer mission. Spent pretty much all week in the mission editor trying to learn how to do scripts and triggers and all that sort of jazz, and I've ended up with this. This is called the Battle for St. Pierre-du-Mont. Basically, obviously, East v West, and we'll have a look in the mission editor at the moment, but I thought I'd just fly around the map just to show you guys how it looks. I think I might have to tone down the weather a bit, although it is pretty cool. Visibility's a bit beaten. This is Cardenville. Down here is this is the blue staging area, so we've got 3 convoys, a few static objects. The red team's got the same sort of setup on the other side of St. Pierre-du-Mont. 3 convoys, a few bits and bobs, and air defences. I've had to use the ZU-23s for air defences for now. Couldn't get the other assets firing, so until we get the Beaufort guns and whatnot, they'll have to do. I am also using the flak script, the old mist one, that works in Normandy, so again, until we get our own new flak guns, that will have to do for now. But basically the aim of the game is to secure St. Pierre-du-Mont, and whoever gets there first sort of, well, hopefully activates the next stage of the map. I'm trying to make it a bit dynamic. So if the blue team gets to the airfield first with their convoys, the red convoys get destroyed, the red anti-air defences deactivate, and the whole map or mission sort of moves back a step. So it becomes a, you know, try and secure that base and not let the other people get a full hold on it. We'll dive into the editor in a minute and just have a look. Just having a quick tour of Normandy. What the hell? Why is the flak active? Okay, so something's broken there. We'll have a look at that. Basically, I've got some triggers. As I said, once the convoys are destroyed or someone's in the winning area, it'll activate a flak defense over the AO for that team, just to make it a little bit harder while people try and wipe out the remaining convoys. But obviously that's not working. Yeah, so far what do I think of Normandy? I really like it. I think it's beautiful, to be honest. As I said, I have to drop down the anti-aliasing just to get some acceptable performance. e.d.g.e might run a bit jagged here and there, but most of the time I'm doing alright for frames. So yeah, hopefully I'll get a video out for you guys soon, a proper video for Normandy, either new or World War II. Let's just fly across the enemy AO, enemy staging area I mean, and let's see what they've got there, and then we'll dive into the mission editor. I'm getting flagged again. Why am I getting flagged again down there? Something's gone awry. We'll have a look at that. Just check out the areas that I've set up. I don't think I should have been in rage at that point. This is the red team's staging area. I think this is called Saint Laurent sur Mer, I think. And again, they've got 3 convoys down there. Okay, so yeah, we need to trim down AAA. Jesus, he was angry. Alright, let's jump in the mission editor and we'll have a look at how I've got things set up. Minor heart attack there, guys. I'm alright, it's okay. Okay, so this is it. As you can see, I just chucked that spitty on just so I could fly across and show you how things are looking. Where did we get flacked? I guess we got caught in that edge still. Because line of sight seems to work. Obviously with all the trees being collidable now, once you get quite low, anti-air and the flak stuff seems to stop firing because they can't see you, essentially, which is awesome. But this is the mission. As I said, you've got the UK and USA versus the Third Reich, essentially. Airfields are defended by flak zones, quite heavily, just to discourage vulturing. And we've got some spread out anti-air. Again, it's just to discourage it and point out where the bandits are if they're trying to sneak in. I want to try and keep the action mainly over the AO area. So as I said, St. Pierre-de-Mont is the prize, basically. Got the 2 staging areas, red v blue, 3 convoys in each, a few static objects to pad it out a bit, and only a light air defence, 3 ZSUs, ZUs even, and set to average skill. So that guy nailed me straight away. He's on good. I think I've left 1 good on each side just to make it a bit difficult. Maybe too difficult. We'll see. It needs tuning. Yeah, so the aim of the game is these convoys will set off 40 minutes after the mission starts, if they're still alive. And whoever gets to the win area here claims the base, which triggers events such as, for example, if the red convoy gets to the win area, the blue convoys will be deactivated, blue air defences will be deactivated, and the red flak area will activate on the AO, which is what we flew through. But for some reason that's already active. So what I want to try and do next is to make it a little bit more dynamic in the fact that these guys here, those will be deactivated. The flak zones, I want to try and see if I can respawn them further back, cancel out that base and activate that base perhaps. Not too sure if it'd be possible yet. As I said, it's the first time in the mission editor, so I'm yet to learn all the boundaries. But yeah, as you can see, we've got quite a lot going on here. We've got some trigger zones, enemy sighted, so if an enemy plane passes through that area, the team will get a notification saying there's enemies in the area and hopefully come rushing to defend the convoy. If the convoys get wiped out at the staging area prior to the 40-minute time limit, then the other convoys will activate and start heading out to the AO. So it's basically destroy the convoys to win. But yeah, I quite like it. I've had quite a bit of fun doing this. Quite a learning experience. You can see there's the missed flak stuff and the flak zones. Notification of red convoys in the area. Which one's this? Oh, that's for the convoys, yeah. So when they get within 2 miles of St. Pierre-de-Mont, the teams will be notified that the convoys are getting close to the AO. I'm not sure which this one does. Okay, that's just to say that all convoys have been wiped out and to hunt down the other convoys before they can secure. This one I want to delete actually. I think this ends the mission once someone gets to the win zone, so don't really want that to happen anymore. As I said, I want to try and make it roll on. Then we've got the red groups on destroy, so if all the German convoys get destroyed, as I said, it activates the third or the UK convoys to start rolling, sends a message out. Same for blue, all the blue destroyed, start the Germans. That's the activate convoy at 40-minute mark. And we've got the enemy airplanes sighted in the areas. These are the big ones, which I need to work on to get that flak working correctly. So Germans in the win zone, deactivates the blue anti-air defences over here, tells both teams what's going on, flag on 1, and deactivate the 3 convoys if they're still alive. So basically the Germans will secure that with their convoys and they'll get a flak zone to protect it, and the British side will be a little bit disadvantaged as such. Same again for the other way round, so if the blues get in there, red convoys die, anti-air dies, blue flak zone protecting. and that's flag 2, but for some reason they're firing straight away. As you can see, this is a standard flag zone, so blue is in the red zone. Condition flag 1 is true. Flag is true 1, is that right? I don't know, I need to do some reading. But then it fires up the flag, and vice versa. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is what I've been up to. Yeah, as I said, I spent the week doing it. I've made little briefing images as well. I think it looks quite cool. But yeah, that's pretty much what I spent the week doing. It's I've only got it set to 15-player map at the moment. What I'm planning to do is to host it tonight on my PC. So if you're about, I'm going to probably put this up at about 8 PM GMT. If you've got Normandy and you've got the World War II assets and you want to help me test this out, just jump on. I'll have a TeamSpeak server up and running as well. And yeah, let's give it a go. Oh, I've disabled external views. I was going to have a look at the outside of the Spitfire because it looks fucking amazing in the new lighting. It's gorgeous. But there we go, guys. Yeah, if you're about tonight, 8 PM GMT, I'll pop this server up and we'll have a go and see if everything works. Hopefully I'll fix them flag zones by that time. Otherwise, I've been Hellreign82. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Fly safe.